Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So thank you for coming and checking out this video today. I got a lot of questions, which was so lovely. I put out on my Instagram stories that I was going to do a Q&A. Obviously we've all got a bit more time on our hands at the moment, so I thought it's been a while, why not do a Q&A? And it's always a good way for you to get to know me better as well. So, as I got that many questions, I might split this into 2 different videos. Otherwise, I think it's going to be too long. So I'll start off. I've got relationships, I've got parenting, I've got Slimming World / career, I've got health, and I've got just general, and there's a lot in the general one. So yeah, I think I'll split it into 2 different videos. So we'll have Q&A number 1 and Q&A number 2. So depending on which category you're most interested in, it might be the first video or the second video. So let's kick off straight away then, and we'll get into relationships. So I've made a note of all the questions. The first one is, what would be your favourite date night? Right now, we don't get any type of stuff like that. But normally, me and Chris just like to go out for food. We like to go out somewhere nice for food, and then go for a couple of nice drinks, cocktails, whatever. And then that's it. That is literally my favourite date night. If we were to actually go away, which again we very rarely do without the boys, I quite like going to a spa. I'm not sure that would be Chris's number 1 choice, but it would be mine. My favourite one probably is Hallcross Hall. I absolutely love that one. We had a lovely date night there before I had the boys while I was pregnant, and that's probably one of my fondest memories of my bump. was enjoying that pregnancy spa day. So yeah, that's one of my other favourites. Favourite drink? Oh, let's do an alcoholic one and a non-alcoholic one. So a non-alcoholic one, you probably already know that. So I'm a cherry Pepsi Max addict. So I only have 1 a day because I'm not meant to drink caffeine. But I'm obsessed with that drink. If it was a hot drink, tea, and then alcoholic drink, my favourite would have to be a Porn Star martini. They are amazing. I could actually drink one right now. So do you and Chris fall out much, or are you bickering more during the lockdown? I tell you what, we never argued at all before we had children. I think we had probably 1 argument in our entire relationship. When you throw twins into the mix, or just 1 baby, I'm sure it would be the same. I don't know, because I've only got 2. But oh, it's a different ball game, because you get tired, and you know the boys might be whinging at the same time, and you know you can snap at each other a little bit. But during lockdown we've become really, like, even closer really as a family. We definitely bicker, God, 100%, like that's completely normal. But yeah, during lockdown we've just been spending a lot more quality time together, which has been really nice. But I think a lot of people are finding it strange being together like all the time, because you're not normally, are you? Most people aren't anyway. You're normally at work or whatever, out and about doing your own thing. But yeah, we're good. We're good. He's amazing. He is absolutely amazing. I'm very lucky. Do you believe in the one? So I believe in like following your gut instinct, and I believe in love at first sight, because I didn't turn my phone off, did I? For us, we both feel like the second we saw each other we knew. Instant. It was instant. So that's not the one, that's more love at first sight. So in terms of the one, I think the population in the world is too big to only have 1 person that's your soulmate. And things change, like someone might be the one for a long time, and then for whatever reason they're not anymore. So they'll be the one right now, but whether they're the one, the only person in the world, I don't really believe in that. How did you meet? So if you've watched my relationship history video, you'll know that we met via Plenty of Fish. So I came out of a very long-term relationship, and then after that I had just like a shorter relationship, and then that didn't work out. So I was going to join Plenty of Fish. I decided not to. I created a profile with no photo of me at all, just a bit of a description, and for some reason Chris felt compelled to message me. It's so weird. He's never done it before, message somebody without a photo. He's in the golf industry, and he was living in his bachelor's pad in Birmingham. And for some reason he struggled to like meet women, because even though he's handsome and he's very down to earth and he's lovely, he's got a great personality, he didn't really get the chance to go out and date much, so he was using online dating, and he's not the sort of guy to like go out and approach girls in bars or anything like that. So for some reason he messaged me, we got chatting, and I was like, I don't want to be on here. I think it's great, I think online dating is great, it just wasn't for me, because I saw a lot of people on there that I knew, and I was like, nah, I don't want to be chatting to them. So I decided to come off, and then Chris added me on Facebook, so that was nice. So we started chatting on there, and then we started ringing each other on the landline, and we were having little chats on the landline, and we just clicked. And then we decided that he was going to come and take me out. So he came to me, because I didn't want to meet him somewhere that was unfamiliar, because I'd never actually met him. So he stayed in a hotel not far from where I lived, and then I picked him up. And then yeah, we went for some drinks, and the second I saw him walking towards my car, I was like, oh my god, he's actually fitter in real life. Afterwards he told me he'd gone all out, like literally all out, with his hair, his beard, his teeth, everything. He was like, this is the best it gets, like. And we just had the most amazing night. I actually wasn't very well during the night. I've been suffering from vertigo really badly, and I felt really funny, and he was so sweet, so kind, really looked after me, and yeah, we both just knew. And then the next day, rather than him going home straight away, we were messaging each other, and he was like, what are you doing today? I was like, nothing. So we went for a picnic, and yeah, we were like, if anyone would have seen us, they'd have thought that we'd have been together years, but obviously we hadn't. We'd only just met. And then since that point we have never been apart. So we saw each other a couple of days after that, and then a couple of days after that, and then in the end he moved. He's still got his apartment in it's in the Mailbox in Birmingham, so he's still got that. We rent that out, and then he moved to be with me where I live, and now we have our boys in our house. So yeah, happy ever after. I feel quite nostalgic now talking about that. Is he romantic? He used to be. Once you're married and you have kids, sometimes that can slip a bit. He's just really busy, so he doesn't always get time to be romantic, but there's no way that I can complain, because he helps me with the boys, he cooks, he's messy, but we'll let that slide. He cooks healthy food. So to me that's kind of like normal, but I would imagine, yeah, I suppose that is romantic. But in terms of like going, oh, you've had a hard day, like I'll go and run you a bath, and you know, I'll do this and do that, not so much. When he goes away, he does bring me back like perfume and stuff, so that's really sweet. But yeah, I think it's something we have struggled with since having children, and we need to be romantic and we need to spend more time together. But while this is all going on, we can't really, because when the boys are in bed we tend to be working. But we've promised tonight none of that. We're gonna have a night off and we're gonna have some fun, so I can't wait. Parenting. So a lot of people have been asking me about the boys' speech, which is quite fascinating. I'm obviously a first-time mom, so I've never done any of this sort of thing before, but a lot of people are saying that the boys are talking really well and they're really chatty. And is there anything that I'm doing to encourage that, or what age did they start talking? How do they repeat what you're saying? A lot of those sort of questions. Lawson's always been a really good speaker, so development wise, normally you'll have the one that's like really mobile, running around and tends to walk and, you know, sit up quicker and all of that, and then you'll have the other type of child who learns a little bit different, who's just more of an observer but has got better speech, and yeah, just generally kind of develops in that area faster. Lawson was the one that chatted and spoke a lot clearer, and yeah, Grayson was obviously the one that was more mobile. Lawson was slower with that. Grayson's speech to begin with wasn't great. He has come on so so much recently. It blows my mind what they actually understand. So I've got these flashcards, and they can tell me like what all the things are on the flashcards, or if I put them all down on the floor and say, right, go and get me the window, or go and get me the house, they can do all that. I don't know if that's normal for children that age. I think it probably is. I have nothing to compare it to, but I'm really pleased with how they're doing. And yeah, I enjoy talking, obviously, so I'm always chatting to them. I kind of speak to them sometimes a little bit like an adult, so you know, I'll just talk to them, so they are picking up a lot of words via that. So yeah, and then we do watch things like Blippi and things like that on telly, the kind of like educational YouTube channels that are out there. So I think that sometimes helps. And then I don't really know what else. I don't think I do anything else. But yeah, they seem to be doing really well with their speech. I'm really pleased with how they're doing anyway. If you had your time again as a first-time mum, what would you change and why? I think if you look back and you have regrets, you're gonna feel guilty. I could not tell you one person that is a parent that hasn't made mistakes. Not one person. And as a first-time mum of twins, I need to be allowed to make my own mistakes. You know, by all means, you can give people advice, or if someone asks you for help, brilliant. But you know, to judge and to criticise mums and think, oh, she shouldn't be doing that, or blah blah. I'm pretty sure if you've got kids, you haven't been perfect the whole time you've been a parent, you know. So I try not to beat myself up. I think the one thing that just sticks in my head, if I were to change anything going back, I really didn't know that, you know, from a young age I could have been sitting them up more, encouraging them more to sit. They were quite late to sit, but even people that do all those things, sometimes their children do it late anyway. They'll all just do it in their own time. So I've definitely learned now not to worry about stuff like that. One of my friends has got 2 sets of twins and another child, and she always puts my mind at rest. She's like, well, mine aren't doing this yet, or mine walked at this age. And lots of my other friends that have got multiples, they've said the same. Obviously the boys are premature as well. So no, not really. I honestly haven't. I loved the newborn stage. I loved it when they were tiny babies. I love it now. I don't really think I've got anything else I would do different. I think you just got to go with the flow, and yeah, just enjoy it as much as you can. Girls' names. Oh, I get asked this a lot. So if they were girls, what would I have called them? I don't know now. I don't know if I would call them what I would have called them. I've always liked names that end in L, so I've always liked Isla, Lola, and then that became really, really popular. I've always liked Lily. And then I'm trying to think what else. To be honest, a lot more of the traditional names I quite like now, and they wouldn't have been on my list before. So I've got friends with Betsy and Penelope. I've got friends with Jemima and Elsie. What else have I got in my list? I don't really remember, because I have boys. I've kind of forgotten about all the girls' names now. One of my favourites was Addison, and Addison is quite unusual, but I loved it. Yeah, I really like Isla. Isla always sticks in my head with girls' names, but I'm not having any more. Dog. Would I get a dog? I just wrote the word dog. Why have I written the word dog? Do we think we'll have a family dog? I don't think so, no. I didn't have a dog growing up. I had cats. It's not really something I've thought about, but I can't see myself having a pet, just because Chris probably wouldn't be around much to help with that, and they need a lot, you know, obviously they need their walks and things like that, so I don't think I'd be the best person to look after a dog. But yeah, who knows? I know what kids are like. They can twist your arm, can't they? And they can try and convince you of all sorts, so maybe in a few years time I'll be sat here with a dog. You never know. Do I organise my week, and if I do, how? Before all this, the only thing I'd ever really organise is like play dates with other friends, or their baby group size to take them to. So obviously now they're toddlers, they're still my babies. So yeah, they'd be the only things that were kind of like in the diary as set. In terms of organising myself with the baby bag and stuff like that, yes, that's always packed, ready. And then the boys had literally just started doing nursery 1 day a week, well, half a day. They were doing 9 till 3, so that's classed as half a day. So I'd have to organise their stuff for that as well, because they had to have their own little backpacks which is so cute. But apart from that, I don't really. I'm a bit of a winger. I just wing stuff. I don't plan what I'm wearing. I don't plan what they're wearing. I don't do any of that. So yeah, not really. We do have a family calendar. So Chris puts his stuff on there, I put my stuff on there, and then we have another column for like stuff that we're all doing together with the boys. That really helps. Or you can sync your calendars on the Google app calendar. So you can put your stuff in there, your partner can put their stuff in there, and you can sync it all up so you know each other's calendars. That's quite useful. Lockdown with the boys, how's it going? It's full on. So their nap time is like, yes, I now get, you know, that hour and a half, sometimes 2 if we're lucky, where I can get all my stuff done, I can clean, I can try and exercise, I can do things like this. So normally I'd have that one day where they were like 9 till 3 at nursery. Sometimes my parents have them. And yeah, so it is full on. Like, I'm used to going out loads with them, and I'll cover something about that in a minute. But it's lovely though, honestly. Do you know what I feel like? I feel like you take stuff in so much more because it's a much slower pace of life. So although there's been a couple of days where I could have quite easily ran and not returned, but that's normal. We all have those days and it's fine, but overall it's going really well, thank you. And yeah, we're enjoying spending all this time together. More children, I always get asked about more children. So obviously due to my infertility, it's not as easy as saying yes or no, but I'm content, I'm happy. I'm so lucky to have 2 out of IVF. You know, 1 round of IVF worked, my 3rd and final round, and I ended up with 2 babies, so I'm just grateful for that. Like, that's enough. That is enough. I have no intention of trying to get pregnant again whatsoever, unless there's a miracle. Then no. Best thing about being a mum, it's the love. Like, oh god, when they hug me, I just melt. I love it. And when they go to bed at night, we have our little like rituals, our little kisses that we do with noses and stuff like that. All of that is just so cute. And also the pride that you feel that they're yours. Like, it still has not sunk into me that they're mine. I still look at them and I'm like, how are they mine? Like, I never thought I'd have children, and I just think, oh god, like these little people, these little humans that can speak and do all these things, like, they're mine, and they just absolutely blow my mind. They amaze me. I love everything. So routines, so current routine, I did a video on this recently, so if you want to go and check that out, then yeah, but it's changed a little bit since that video. They're waking up a lot later then. They've started waking up around 7ish again now. So I'm awake before them always. I wake up about 5:30, 6. I go to sleep fine, but I always wake up really early. I wish I didn't, but I do. So once I'm awake, that's it. I can't switch off. So my day starts a bit earlier, but theirs is from around 7 till about 6:45 when they go to sleep. How do you look after yourself? So during normal life, whatever that is, not lockdown, I go to the gym, which I love. That's my bit of time for me. And I see looking after myself like it's just being able to have a bath, or, you know, just be able to talk to my friends. I don't you know, I'm not obsessed with having my hair done and things like that. I get it done way less than what I used to. I do love going for either like a massage or a facial like once a month. That's something I really enjoy. But for me, it's the gym. That's definitely how I look after myself, and eating healthy, and just trying to have a positive mind. So will the boys always share a bedroom? I don't know. I honestly don't know. They don't have to. So we've got a spare room, and if they want to separate, they can. As they get older, I'm sure they're going to want their own space, aren't they? But then I also know other people with twins where they don't want to be separated and they love being together. It'll depend how they sleep when they're a bit older. If they, you know, start climbing out of their beds and trashing their bedrooms and things like that, then maybe we'll have to separate them. But for me, that'll be down to them. I'll see what they want to do. So best buys for toddlers. The boys do have quite a lot of toys, and I will completely admit that. Again, it's possibly a first time mum thing, I don't know. I get great joy from seeing their faces happy when they have like a toy and it's new and they're excited about it. I get massive joy from that, but I completely take on board the opinion that, you know, if they've got too many toys, they might feel overwhelmed, or they'll just play with things for a few minutes and then disregard it, or possibly even that they're going to be spoiled. So sometimes what I do is just put toys away and then bring a few out at a time, and then get the other toys out and kind of like rotate it. I think that's really useful. But for me, what they play with the most is the soft play thing, the ball pit, which they've had since they were 1. They absolutely love books. They're obsessed with books. They love stickers. Trying to think what else. Oh, they love like ride-ons, so like scuttlebugs or like a car. And then Grayson's just mad on balls, like he'll play with balls constantly, or cars. And Lawson's just more like he'll play with teddies. He really likes teddies. I'm trying to think what else. They have got a trike, but they don't really use that. They've got a play kitchen. They're not that into that. What other toys do they like? They like things, so I don't know how to pronounce this, Montessori, is that it? I don't know. You know, the like style of learning in Italy that they use in a lot of the schools. They like things that kind of they have to use their brain for. So they've got this thing where they have to like pick worms out and then put it into the mouth, and it's like a magnet. Stuff like that keeps them engaged a lot longer. So yeah, they're probably the main ones. I did a video on like toys and stuff, so you might want to check that out. Have you ever thought about running your own play group or being a teacher? Definitely not running my own play group, or no, that's not me at all. I don't think I'd have the patience for that. I do enjoy teaching my children. Years ago when I was younger, I wanted to be a teacher. Years and years ago, I was obsessed with looking after children, and I loved it. But I think when I realised that I couldn't have children naturally, I became a little bit more hardened to that, and I backed off a lot from being with babies and children, subconsciously, completely subconsciously. So I kind of lost the love and the want of being a teacher, because I didn't think I could have my own children. It was like self-preservation. But I do enjoy teaching them, but I don't think I'd have the patience to do it full time, or definitely not running a play group. I think I'd be too stressed. But that's really nice. The lady said you've got a natural affinity for teaching, so that's really sweet. Thank you. I really appreciate that comment. So let's do Slimming World and Korea, and then I'll save the health one and the general one for another video, otherwise it's going to be too long. So do I miss being a consultant, and will I go back to working for Slimming World? I do miss being a consultant. The admin bit and all of that, and the promotion, not so much. That was kind of like more of the work side of it. But my members, I do miss them, and my colleagues, I do miss them as well. So I see things on social media a lot, and I'm like, oh, I hope they're okay. And a lot of my members still stay in touch with me, which is really sweet. And in terms of going back to Slimming World, I don't know, like I really don't know. First of all, I made the decision to step down from being a manager, and then I made the decision to step down from being a consultant later. And writing those, you know, writing that resignation email was not easy to do at all. I don't think I'd go back to being a manager, but as a consultant, I don't know. So the field manager, my district manager, and the 2 partners that are the managing directors, when I resigned, they all emailed me, and I've kept those emails because they mean so much to me. They were so lovely, and all of them said, you know, the door is always open. If you ever want to come back, then you'd be more than welcome. And you know, guys, you know that I still love Slimming World. Like, I talk about Slimming World a lot still. It's always going to have a special place in my heart. Maybe when the boys go back to school, possibly, maybe I'll look at going back then. I won't necessarily go back to my group, because my group I gave to somebody else. So somebody else had the opportunity to take that on, and she is lovely. So sweet and so caring, so I was really pleased that I was able to pass it on to somebody like that. So if I did it again, I'd probably have to start from scratch and look at a different area, completely a different location. But who knows, I really don't know. I don't know. It will all depend on how I feel when the boys go back to school. Well, not back to school, when they start school. But don't forget, mine were born on the 3rd of September, so mine will start school a year later than a lot of other children, so they'll be the oldest in the school, so I'll get them an extra year. So if I did, it wouldn't be for a while yet anyway. Plans career-wise, do you know what? I'm just enjoying what I'm doing. My career at the moment is a full-time mom, but doing my social media stuff on the side. So a lot of people use the phrase influencer. I'm not very comfortable with that word. It doesn't sit well with me whatsoever. I don't call myself an influencer. I call myself a content creator, or I still sometimes say blogger, which is so out of date now, or I do Instagram. Like, you just sound stupid saying that. But influencing people, like, I suppose that is what I do sometimes, but mine are just like genuine recommendations. Like, I would never ever say, oh yeah, you know, go and get this toy that I bought the boys, if it was rubbish, because that would just be horrible. You know, people are going to spend their money on something that was rubbish. So I say content creator, and I could definitely see myself doing that for a lot longer because I love it. I really enjoy it. I enjoy doing YouTube. This is more of a hobby, so financially, for the time that I put into YouTube, you can't call it a job. So YouTube's more of a hobby, but I suppose now Instagram has definitely evolved into more of a job. But I like to keep the balance very much kind of like, I suppose, 80% fun. So a lot of my content or a lot of my posts are just posts that I've always done about food, about beauty, about fashion, about the boys. You know, I just enjoy posting, and then occasionally there'll be some sponsored posts which are ads, and occasionally there'll be stuff in my stories, or I do have affiliate links for different things. So I'll definitely continue doing that because I enjoy it. So I would love for that to just keep growing and growing through your support, through people like you guys. Every time you like someone's post, or you comment, or you swipe up on something, or you know, you leave a lovely comment on a video, you're really helping us, you're really supporting us, and we're really grateful for that, because having that genuine relationship with people that follow you is really important. And then it says, they're kind of all the same questions. I think I've answered them all now. But other plans career-wise, there are other things that I'd like to do. So I want to help more people around the subject of IVF. That is really important to me. I think people assume that I'm going to go off and do like weight loss programs and things like that. I have no plans for that. Who knows, one day if somebody wanted to do that, maybe I'll think about it. But my passion is helping people, and definitely helping people that were in the same position that I was in all those years ago of not being able to have children. So I'd love to do something a little bit more around that as well. So who knows, watch this space. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope that's answered some of your questions. I just kind of do them spontaneously, so I know that I can ramble on sometimes. So if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in Q&A part 2 in a few days. Bye.